My name is Sam, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to do a basic darn. So this technique can be used for holes or thinning spots in knits, things like socks or sweaters. You can do this in a few different ways. You can use a color that matches your project, and it will become almost invisible, or you can use a bright color and add a little bit of character with a visible mend. Let's get started. So what you're going to need for this tutorial is a sock or any kind of knit that needs mending. Thread, I'm using embroidery thread for this sock because it is thicker. You can also separate the strands of embroidery thread if you wanted a thinner thread to work with. I've got darning needles here. These are useful because they have a bigger eye, so when you're threading with a thicker thread, it's a lot easier, and they're longer, which can help you with your technique. I also have my clippers here. You don't need these, you can use regular scissors. And lastly, I have a darning mushroom. Again, you don't need one of these. You can use a mason jar, you can use a cup, you can use your hand, whatever helps you get your sock nice and taut so you can work with it. So what you're going to want to do for this project is take your sock and flip it inside out. And then using whatever tool you have, be it your hand or a cup or a darning mushroom, you just put it inside like that, and then you find the areas that need to be mended. So they're going to be a little bit harder to find from the inside depending on what kind of sock you have, but you can see right there is my thin spot. Next up, I'm going to get my thread ready, and I'm going to use the whole thickness of the embroidery thread because my socks are thick. You're just going to use your clippers here, or your scissors, whatever, and give that a snip. So just estimate how much thread you think you'll need. I've got about that much. Next up, you're going to take your thread and your needle. I've chosen a long needle, and I'm using the full thickness of my thread because of the thickness of my socks. You're just going to thread the needle. This can be painful. So here I've got my needle threaded. I am using the full thickness of the thread due to the thickness of my sock, and as you can see, I've got it doubled up a little bit, but not all the way, because you're not going to want the double thickness when you're doing this. I also have not added a knot to the end. You don't want to knot your yarn or thread when you're darning a sock because you don't want to step on it, because that'll be really uncomfortable. So instead of doing your knot, what you're going to do is you're going to find your hole, and you're going to go parallel and horizontal. So you don't want to go diagonal. You want to find where the stitches are in the sock and follow them. So I'm going to start a tail right at the top up here, just so that I don't have to do the knot. So I'm just going to pull the thread all the way through like that and leave a little bit. This isn't going to bother you, you're not going to feel it, but you don't want it to come undone after you've started darning. So to keep going with this technique, what you're going to do is you're just going to weave in and out and try to catch one stitch at a time. If you're not feeling that patient, that's okay. You can catch a few, it's not a big deal. What you're just doing is reinforcing where you're getting a lot of tread on your sock. You're going to pull that all the way through like that. And you're going to keep going back and forth until you get to the bottom of your hole. And you're just going to do a couple rows past that. So I've started slightly above the hole, and I'm going to go slightly below the hole. Now when you're doing this, when you go around a corner and you start weaving again, you get to the point where you're going to pull it taut. But I don't want you to pull it too tight because you do want your sock to have some stretch. So as you see, I'm just going to leave a little bit right here. I'm not going to pull it super tight because as I'm walking, as I'm wearing the sock, I want it to be able to stretch. So as you can see, I'm using yellow because it's a contrasting color so that you can see. But if you choose a color that is close to the color of your sock or your sweater, you're not going to see this mend very much once you turn it back inside out. So I've gotten down to the bottom. I've covered the whole entirety of the hole with horizontal stitches. So what I'm going to do next is I'm just gonna turn my project to the side, and I'm gonna start going slightly in from where these are, the little tails that I've left, and a little bit above. And I'm just gonna weave in and out between my stitches. And you're gonna do this until you get to the top, right up here. So now you'll see I'm just about at the end, so I'm gonna do a couple more stitches, just weaving in and out like so, leaving a little bit of a tail, just so that there's room to stretch. And when I get to the end here, I'm gonna do the same thing that I did at the beginning. So I'm just gonna weave through the sock a little bit so that I can leave a tail. Just any direction, like so. And there, you're done your darning process. So you just trim your tail, and then we're gonna take the sock, turn it inside out, take whatever you were using out of there first. There we go. And this was not even close to a perfect darn, but it'll do. So there's the finished product. If you're a little bit more careful when you're weaving in the tail, you won't even see it. And there you have it, a basic darn, and your sock is good to go.